Okay, I think it's recording. Hey everyone, it's me. You know, your standard omniversal guardian. And you guys have been really liking the Shadow She-Hulk videos I've been uploading onto this channel. So, I think it's only fair that I tell you how I actually got this transformation. And let me tell you, it's quite the story. So when I was around 5 years old, 5 to 7, I don't remember exactly, my school was on a field trip to a museum. It was a really cool museum. I don't exactly remember the name of it. It was a long time ago. But we were just having a great time and just looking around and all that stuff. But my group in particular was being chaperoned by one of my friend's parents, and they're going to be important in the story. Anyways, we approached a really peculiar exhibit in the museum, and when we arrived at that particular area, we saw like an unusual crystal being protected by some sort of nuclear gamma generator. Again, I don't remember exactly, this was a long time ago, but it was really beautiful. The crystal glowed with some sort of a purple and magenta aura, and the gamma generator was navy blue and white in particular. My best friend at the time, she couldn't help but stare at it in amazement and gasped at its beauty. And let's be honest, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't stare in amazement at an artifact like that? But of course, we were there to see, not touch. Or at least that's what I thought until another one of my group members decided to go underneath the fence. The rest of my group was walking away at this point, and I was the only one who was there, so I immediately went to tell someone, but then they immediately got stuck underneath it. I rushed to help as fast as I could, and I managed to get them free because the crystal had fallen on top of them, and they were at the risk of getting crushed. For a 5 to 7 year old, that was pretty brave of me, not gonna lie. After I freed them, only a few seconds later, before you could say bazinga, the crystal and the generator exploded into my face, and it knocked me out cold. I was out for a few good weeks, maybe even a month. Again, I don't remember exactly, this was a long time ago, but when I eventually did wake up, doctors said my recovery was miraculous, and I wasn't expected to survive. I mean, you wouldn't expect to survive either if you were faced with an explosion that huge and unexpected. About 2 weeks later, after the incident, I discovered why that explosion happened. It turns out that parent was an undercover terrorist, determined to bring terror to my town. They had chosen the crystal and the generator because they had such massive amounts of energy and would cause widespread chaos and destruction. I was the only one who was near that area and survived. Nobody else who was in that proximity did. I decided to keep my identity confidential when I was interviewed by reporters, and well, let's just say I just put the matter behind me then. fast forward a few good years, and I'm currently a teenager at this point, and not how old I am now. And I had just recently woke up in my undergarments after a long day at Disney. You know, like one of those days where you've worked so hard you decide to sleep only in your undergarments? If you haven't done this, you don't have to answer that, but yeah, it was one of those days. I was exhausted out of my mind. Anyways, when I woke up that morning, it was 3 a.m. at least. Now, waking up that early in the morning wasn't unusual for me because I tend to get thirsty in the middle of the night. So maybe I was just thirsty again. I was thinking at the time. I got up to get a glass of water, but I immediately flopped on my pillow because even though I had been sleeping for a few good hours and gone to bed early, I was exhausted. I didn't know why. So maybe I just thought I would close my eyes and go back to sleep. That's when I felt it for the first time. My eyes immediately snapped back open as I felt some sort of overwhelming surge flow through my body. Now, I had never felt anything like this before, and it was unnerving. At first I thought I was having a stroke, and I wanted to get up to alert my parents, but they would scold me for being up so late anyway. I clenched my fist and scrunched my eyes, feeling this surge of power flowing through every cell of my body. I didn't know what was happening to me. As a 14-year-old, this was pretty damn scary. When I opened my eyes back up after a few seconds, I looked at my arm, and I noticed my veins. They were glowing with some sort of unusual energy. I was stunned. What was happening to me? What sort of illness was this? Every single blood vessel in my body was glowing, surging with that same energy. Then, the change began. My muscles immediately started to grow, and I clenched my fists even tighter. My entire body began to shift. My skin turning purple, my curves expanding, my hair growing longer. It was pretty scary at first. I was stunned that this was happening to me. But a few seconds later, it didn't feel wrong. It almost felt right. Like a hidden part of my soul was now emerging into the world. A hidden power had suddenly been awakened. I began to enjoy it and embraced it. As the change continued, with the horns and tail emerging, the halo and wings appearing, my body getting more curvy and muscular by the second, I felt myself loving it instead of hating it. And I embraced every single part of the change. Like a mother willingly opening up their arms to give their child a hug. As I laid there, continuing to change, I was thrilled. The adrenaline rush was amazing, and it felt incredible. as my body grew taller, larger, stronger. I was becoming something otherworldly, almost incredible even. I remember the change lasting a few good minutes. I don't know exactly how long, but if I had to give like a rough estimate, maybe about like 15 to 20 minutes, then it finally stopped. When the change was finished, I found myself sighing in relief, and I slowly stood up to go to the bathroom. My legs were still shaky a bit, as I still needed that quick sip of water. When I turned the light on and stared at my reflection, I couldn't believe that was me. As I learned how to open and close my wings and took those few sips of water, I knew that my life had changed. Not for the worse, but for the better. And I promised to use my new form for the good of all. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much how She-Hulk came to be. And I don't regret gaining this transformation at all. Well guys, until next time. See you later.